All right, today is March 9th, 2024, and today we're gonna kind of, and I know it's bright, I apologize. It's like during, like, this is what springtime is here over in my area. So, a couple things I'm gonna kind of address here very quickly. There will be a topic that is extremely, extreme viewer discretion advised. I will put that on the screen before we go there. Second, as I can tell, with the close up and kind of my arms like this, I'm improving my physical fitness and everything else slowly but surely. My back is still jacked up. Everything else. Uh, on Thursday, March, I believe it was 7th. Yeah, on March 7th, my wife and I we went to a hiring event in our area. Met a couple good recruiters and stuff, just kind of see who was hiring that maybe either one of us can go to get a job that's not one gonna destroy my body more than what it already is. I did construction and that's why my back is jacked up as much as it is. And two, something that's meaningful for either one of us. So just if I ever have to cut down on streaming, it'll be announced in Discord. Just know that I'm actively looking for ways to kind of take a burden off on things. Now, there's a couple things that I'm going to touch on, and I'll touch on these two parts last. First will be the enhanced broadcaster beta. I'll be reading an article from Dan Clancy. And the second will be Kira Toriyama, who passed away this week. I'll be talking about my perspective on that one. But normally I don't care what's going on with other people on other platforms, but this one actually, whether this is satire or not, this is action, man. Just listen.
Dad, I forgot what today. Do you know what today is?
I don't know what is today.
8 years clean off heroin.
Seriously? Is it today? Wow. That's awesome. Totally awesome.
You did it.
Congrats. I'm serious about this. Congrats.
I did it.
Yes, you did. You should be very proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself, okay? So what else is going on, big guy?
I'm sorry.
Sorry on what?
Gave you a bad hand, Dad.
No, you didn't. It was a learning experience. I never draw on the past. The past is for cowards and losers. Just remember that.
Dad,
Past is for cowards and losers, and he's saying exactly what a father would want him, or would want best for his son. Don't draw on the past. You draw on the present. You draw on the future. Don't do the you don't dwell on the past. That's why I don't look down. I don't look back. Never have, never will. But this hit my feed today, and I figured, I'd share that one with y'all because I've seen what that type of narcotic does to people, and it's hard for them to get off of it, to get clean, to stay clean, and turn their lives around. Like, I've seen that shit firsthand, especially some of the areas that I lived in. Some of the areas I lived in growing up. Um, like I said, whether this is satire or whether it's true, GG's on action, man. Seriously. On a more depressing note, Rooster Teeth. Same guys brought us Red versus Blue. Warner Brothers Studio felt the need for them to shut it down. I and many others were not happy. And we're still kind of blown away on the notion of that being shut down. Because they brought entertainment to us and they created true achievements. it pisses me off that a multi-billion-dollar company wants to sell something that they deem as unprofitable. Like, these guys were awesome, man. I remember watching the first couple episodes of Red versus Blue. I remember seeing True Achievements Founded. I remember a lot of stuff that they did. They brought a lot of good to gaming. And for Warner Brothers just to yank it after this amount of time, that should really kind of open your eyes on what these corporations can do. Excuse me. But if a corporation can do that for our love of entertainment and just act something like that, just goes to show that nobody really cares about the value of entertainment unless it's business. Never mind the entertainment value in motivational speeches that were within RBB. Because through some of our darkest fucking times, these guys were able to ensure that we had something of comedic entertainment and comedic value to help us through all the grit and all the I remember watching these guys while I was deployed too. And it spun off other things like I remember one What the Fuck Marine. Like it was pretty fucking cool. Seeing different things get spun off from their creation. So this one hit pretty hard. Now we come to this. Just listen.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth taking the chance of the $8,000. But if it's only 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way, knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly.
No, it's not about being able to be kicked out quickly. It's about securing our border. Go back to the previous episode where the Vietnam veteran, who I called an idiot, and everything else, where Mayorkas was fired for not doing his fucking job correctly. He slipped up. He got got something where Marjorie or MGT or however you say her name, or MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene or however you say her name, had screamed out her name. Yes, thousands of Americans are being killed by illegal immigrants. If y'all want to try to cancel me off of that terminology, if I break into your house, I'm breaking in illegally. Same notion comes into the fucking country. However you come into the country correct way, you're not doing it illegally, you're doing it legally. I've touched on this topic before. I think everybody should be able to, come to this country correctly. If you are an able-bodied male and you are wanting to seek your citizenship fast, join the service. 8 years minimum. Not this, a couple years and then everything else. Just yeah. And he said he knows what it's like to lose children. In the context, yes, he does, but in this aspect, where it's somebody who was killed by an illegal immigrant, no. He lost his son to cancer. That's a tragic thing. That's the correlation where he knows what it's like to lose children. The difference is he had his son lost to cancer, not an illegal immigrant. That's the difference. Well, no parent should ever have to bury their child. Everybody should be able to feel safe in their own country. We got one more on the State of the Union. This was the State of the Union. I did not watch it. I do not care for them. I don't like listening to them anyways. Because it's all a scripted speech typed up by somebody else saying, oh, here's some key points. We're going to make the American populace feel good. People deserve to hear the facts is what's going on with this country. What's the average cost of food? What's the average cost of housing? What's the average cost of gas, of electricity, of water? How secure is our border? How's our military doing? What's our defense budget? Our relations with our allies? What's going on over in, politics? They don't say this crap. They do this bullshit, fucking pandered, catered speech. Nobody wants to actually type up in here. That's why I don't like whenever somebody is a bought and paid politician. I'm sorry. No. And as much as people hate this fucking notion, reason why Trump was as good as he was whenever he wasn't dealt with a Chinese man-made virus known as COVID. And don't fucking try to sugarcoat this shit with me either. I know exactly what it is. It is the fucking influenza vaccine embedded with the SARS vaccine. Why do you think it was so lethal? Excuse me. But no, I hate bought and paid politicians. Excuse me. Ugh. I hate bought and paid politicians because they don't give a fuck about you. They only get or about what's for them, the bottom dollar. One more from this previous one. He If you're curious as to who this gentleman that's yelling at him, he is the father of one of the 13 U.S. Marines, U.S. service members that was killed in the Afghanistan pullout.
All Americans deserve the freedom to be safe. And America is safer today than when I took office. Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue Plan, which every American voted against, I might add, we made the largest investment in public safety ever. Last year, the murder rate saw the sharpest decrease in history. Violent crime fell to one of its lowest levels in more than 50 years. But we have more to do.
All right. It's dropped. Like, it's dropped since 2019. But you notice this sharp decline, right? Remind me again who was president here. This is off the FBI. Hold on. Oh, they don't have that. Okay. All right, let's go here. All right, 2016 is right here. 2020. It increased. It has been going down a little bit at a time. This is per 100,000. And they don't have all the dates. Or they don't have everything updated. So, while he is true on that, the person that person that was yelling at him was the father of one of the service members that were killed in Afghanistan, where he was too busy looking at his watch. And everybody wants to sit there and say, oh, well, Afghanistan happened because of the way it was agreed upon. True. But he should be arresting for violating operational security. Because he gave critical information about what was happening, the date and time as to what it was happening, and it put everybody there in jeopardy. Everybody. You don't reveal information to your enemies. Ever. Before we go on. The following topic contains material that some may find triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. Please note that I'm only stating my own opinions and belief on this topic. Oh, that cut off. Okay. I make no reservations on the items I am about to dive in. Nothing in what I say will be construed as a threat, but more of a solid warning. You all have been warned. This fucking jackass. You see what he's doing.
That's so hot.
Stop!
Gets me.
Why is it also gay pride flag?
Ah.
What the fuck?
And the fact I know what happens after here, I'm not going to play it. They're both drunk. They have a firearm. I don't know if it's loaded. But let's just, sake of the argument it is. If that shit's loaded and there's a round in the chamber and his hand slips off the trigger, her brains are scattered across his fucking wall. Both need to be arrested for imminent danger to bodily harm. She needs to be thrown in jail for about maybe 3 months on a misdemeanor charge. He needs to be thrown in jail for at least 5 years on a federal charge. Whether this is for viewership or whatever, that's dangerous. Yes, I have a firearm myself. It stays in that fucking closet with a cable lock through it. And my spring is heavy enough to where my kids can't just rack it. Even I have to have, a little bit of grip to rack it back. I understand firearm safety. I'm capable enough to be able to teach people correct ways of handling stuff. What these idiots did? No. And that right there is the reason why I am done trying even to fucking correlate with Kick. I'm done streaming. Or to Kick. I'm done with that platform. That was the final straw. Straight up final straw. I was willing to give them one more chance, try to coordinate with their fucking support, but no, not after that. That is stupid. It's dangerous, and this is why I have an issue with the thing. Which brings me to another item. Kick.com has Kick's streaming platform already died. Kick.com came on very strong when it first went live in a global scale in 2022. Here it is, 2024, and they're still in beta. Now that it has been online for over a year, I'm eager to look back at some of the bold promises and broad predictions made for the platform. Now the initial hype has passed. It seems traffic has slowed down. Social buzz has moved on, and ultimately Kick.com has all but died a grisly death. But it seems it has faded away out of relevance in just 12 months. It might be that the platform is yet to gain traction in earnest. It's arguable that the original boom was nothing to do more than early adopters hopping on the hype train. It could also be that everyone has gotten wise to Kick's aggressive expansion tactics, realizing that there aren't as many opportunities to make the big bucks on the platform as they first thought. There were some huge acquisitions, that fizzled out. The numbers are down. Kick socials aren't growing much. Is Kick already dead? In early 2023, Kick was growing immensely fast, and even I hopped on it. It was acquiring enormous streamers with $100 million contracts and promising small streamers the world. It suffered from a string of controversies, overcame some, but the scandals just seemed to keep surfacing. How much did this actually affect their numbers, though? Let's look at some of the data. According to esports charts and stream charts, Kick's viewership was boosted in September 2023, reaching a peak concurrent viewer count of almost 1 million. But it's worth mentioning that around 800,000 of that count were watching one exceptional creator. Elsewhere during the month, the peak channel content fell 7%, and the number of active channels fell by 6% overall. In August 2023, the peak viewer count fell by 25%. The peak channel count by 56%. The average number of live channels by 24%. Most staggering is their viewership compared to Twitch. In January, Kick total viewership hit a new high at 132 million hours. In comparison, the powerhouse Twitch was at 1.9 billion. Kick might still be growing, but at a much slower pace in the overall live streaming industry. Kick's growth has slowed immeasurably on social media platforms like Twitter, and marketing seems to have taken a huge dip. It seems that it seems that some of those monumental acquisitions haven't paid off. It hasn't paid off either. XQC's arrival was heavily promoted. His Twitch streams are roughly keeping pace with those on Kick, with a similar average viewership. It's been declining on both platforms, though. Elsewhere, though, it's not a strong comparison. At any given time, Kick has around the same total viewership as Twitch boasts in a single category. The biggest Twitch streamers dwarf the whole platform. Just chatting only. Loading up the Kick.com interface, you're frequently greeted by a lackluster front page. And hang on. Hit the wrong fucking thing. I mean, yeah. Lackluster. It's, yeah. But we go to Twitch, and I have the audio muted because I didn't want audio to be played. You can see live footage on a carousel. You have a category right here for the month, as was promised. Categories based on what you think feature clips from smaller communities. And that's literally directly underneath. The whole thing toting strange streams has their best of the best streamers watching copyrighted content. Some playing Warzone, and EA girls wearing skimping clothing. They're not wrong. There were a few more channels recommended to me, slots, to just chatting streams, and someone carving something out of wood. Huh? I do wood burning, so I don't know if they're talking about me. In the top live categories, the game sitting in the number one spot was PUBG with under 8,000 viewers. And a relevant number compared to the just chatting and gambling sections. At the same time, on Twitch, GTA 5 boasted 38,000 viewers and was far from the most popular game. Ultimately, I found that Kick.com offered a bleak welcome. It didn't interest me or capture my attention. Honestly, I can't see why anyone would choose it over Twitch right now. Excuse me. I'll be frank, up until a couple months ago, I fully recognized Kick.com's potential. I even wrote up an article discussing the potential for Kick.com to become a legitimate contender to Twitch. But as time goes on, I feel the platform is becoming weaker, it's losing authority, and streamers who jumped on the platform with stars in their eyes are now withdrawing en masse. If the biggest advantage for Kick.com streamers is that it's easier to be discovered, it's only because there are so few streamers to compete with on the platform in the first place. At the end of the day, I just don't think Kick managed to keep up the momentum it is so easily gained in the early days. And I anticipate within a few months to a year, it'll be a shell site. I can't see what Kick.com could do to turn things around, but at present, it's not a good look for the platform that promised so much growth so early on. But hey, I've been wrong before. Maybe I'll be wrong again. This person is Grant Taylor Hill from Opinion Esports, who writes esports news for Opinion Esports. And they're not wrong. Seriously. They're not wrong, dude. They're not. And the reason why, yeah, no. The reason why people are, kick is a lot better by far. No, it's not. No, it's not. They don't have correct site moderation tools. They don't prevent people from creating multiple accounts to come into the channels and continue to harass people. Twitch actually has tools to flag suspicious accounts. And that right there speaks volumes to me. Not even Trovo, who is owned by Tencent, which has the technology to do so. Not even they have it. Right now, if you, like I've said this before, if you're streaming to Kick, start to diversify your content. All right. Voice Critical. This guy has some really, really good takes on gaming and the industry as a whole. Listen to what he said, with his frustrations with U.S. Immigration Office. This is a big topic, especially within the esports world.
You wanted us to prove that our placements were real, and we had a high-ranking EA, who, of course, they own Apex, represents that side, talk on our behalf to confirm that the placements are real. But you don't believe that that official, whom you even cite their position in this statement, actually represents them? Is actually part of the official governing body of the esport? How can you not believe them? You even cite their position in your statement, a position that constitutes the esports side. What do you mean? And then you say that the placements don't necessarily mean international reputation? What the fuck does then? How could any team possibly get into the country through this game if even the highest placements don't constitute international reputation to satisfy your criterion? It doesn't make any fucking sense. The agent here is well known in the esports scene because we've talked to numerous other orgs. And all of them have had to deal with this person, and all of them have horror stories about them. So much so that the majority of them have found ways to circumvent ever having to deal with them and going through other people. That is how bad at their job this person is. And resubmit, which we did. And now we've received a response from the resubmission forms, and after going through everything with lawyers and making sure it is as buttoned up as possible with all of the best in the industry, I am happy to say we are still fucking struggling because the agent is a geriatric fossil that is absolutely just out for some kind of vendetta. I think they might just hate the word moist. That's probably a very real possibility. But they have asked us to submit even more evidence and even more clarification on things, which ordinarily I would have no problem with. But we've already done this once. We did this song and dance last time, only to get rejected many weeks after doing that. This isn't a fast process. If it was fast, I wouldn't care. Be like, oh, okay, you need more papers, more documents, more clarification. Fine, we can provide all of that tomorrow, and hopefully hear from you in the next day or two. That's not how it works, because after we do submit all of those, further appeals for evidence, it takes weeks, multiple weeks, for them to respond, and they barely fucking look at what you submit, I feel.
That is his frustration with U.S. Immigration's office. Come on. And I'm gonna be honest. Like, I understand his position because having seen how they deal with even whenever I was going through customs coming from Afghanistan, I'm in fucking uniform. I am wearing my desert camis, my desert camouflage uniform with my rifle, my 180 rounds of ammo. I'm carrying my gear to include my knife and all my shit with me to get on the fucking plane. Hey, sir, we need you to come over here. We got to do a random inspection. All because my knuckles were black. They were blackened because of how dry the air was. My skin, if the air gets dry, my hands start to crust over and start going black because the blood, like the capillaries and stuff in here, will die, and it's very painful. And they said we need to verify your U.S. citizenship. I straight up looked at them like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So they said, "Do you have any ID?" Pulled up my driver's license. I pulled out my my fucking common access card. I pulled out every single classification that I had. Oh, that's not good enough. We need a birth certificate. I straight up looked at them and I said, "We are in Afghanistan. Do you understand how stupid your statement is?" My CO comes over and they're like, "Sir, we don't need to talk." He's like, "No, you're fucking with one of my Marines. I can attest he's a U.S. citizen, having gone through the process and everything else. You know, having been born over in Texas, you either let him continue to get on the plane or we're going to have a problem." And then let me go. The fact that I was deployed at the time in customs wanted me to verify my shit. I feel his pain. Like, I feel his pain. Just, yeah. Anyways. I've been doing the open broadcast beta for a little bit. And the one thing I want to note here real quick is Dan has gone and done a lot of good things. I have seen things change for the better. I have seen things be more user friendly. And I have seen the improvements that they're rolling out. And also the features that they're bringing out too. I'm not going to read the entirety verbatim, but I am going to highlight things right here. I think your communities grow. And yes, my viewership's growing. May not be at a very, very rapid pace. But I can tell you that I have seen better analytics playing a very, very fucking niche game than anything else. Like, if you don't believe me, hold on. Analytics overview. Let's see. Where you at? I'm trying to find the actual. Here we go. This is my analytics, okay? And you can see categories your viewers watch the most. Foxhole, a fucking very, very, very unique niche. And these guys, I've never met until I started playing this. But you can see none of these even come close to this. Not even whenever I was streaming fucking Destiny 2. I probably averaged maybe 2, 3 at most. with drops enabled, mind you. So yes, this is truth. In 2023, we improved many of our existing products to be more effective for you. Yes, you did, especially the moderation tools. Cannot thank you enough. Collaboration easier and more rewarding. Yes, improving Twitch mobile experience. I don't view stuff on mobile because it's easier for me to type on here. Make more money. It's still 50-50 for appealists, but there is the ad incentive program and the plus program and everything else. They're going through and doing stuff with that. Doing more creator sponsorships. Yep. New incentives to encourage support. Yep. They're working on this. I'm not in this little like this right here, but I can tell you from what I'm seeing in the enhanced broadcast, like the enhanced broadcast beta build in that Discord, it's insane. Well, yes, they had to increase the price of Tier 1 in Australia, Canada, and UK. They'll be raised an additional this way that they can still maintain their stuff. This right here. Keeping your community safe. Safety continues to be a top priority for all our teams. We want you to feel safe on our service and feel empowered to create. Throughout 2023, we rolled out products and policies designed to better protect you from harm. We focus on improving our existing mod tools and introduce new features like batch reporting tool and shared mod comments. We also made shield mode easier to use and more powerful by integrating it into mod view and adding for support for Twitch alerts. We also made key improvements to our safety policies to better ensure that they meet the needs of our community. We expanded the scope of our off-service conduct policy, for example, adding doxing and swatting to list behaviors we'll enforce against, recognizing that harm takes place outside of our service has a big impact on our Twitch community. This will forever be an ongoing endeavor for them, and I cannot thank them enough for this because it's just absolutely insane on what they've done. And Dan is a streamer himself, so he understands. Not like the previous CEO who was, only a board member and really didn't understand the notion of things. Yeah, he had a channel and, blah, whatever. Dan's a streamer. He understands. He himself has even been denied for partner, which is hysterical. Like, I find it funny. It's hysterical that, the CEO of Twitch was denied partnership. And we're going to wrap this one up with a pretty solemn tribute to him. Akira Toriyama, the Dragon Ball creator, passed away on March 7th. Excuse me, March 1st. I only found out about this on March 7th. Excuse me. Dear friends and partners, we are deeply saddened to inform you that manga creator Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to an active subdural hematoma. He was an age of 68. It is our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness for your kindness during his lifetime. Funeral service was held with his family and very few relatives. Following his wishes for tranquility, we respectfully inform you that we would not accept flowers, condolences, gifts, visiting, offerings, and others. Also, we ask that you refrain from conducting interviews with his family. Future plan for a commemorate gathering is not decided. We will let you know when it is confirmed. We deeply thank you for your understanding and support as always. Bard Studio, Capsule Corporation, Tokyo. The outpouring love and support that a creator of a franchise that has transcended from comics to anime to movies to games. And the creators of Naruto and One Piece also put their had said how much that he meant to them. Now, while I have never seen the entirety of all the episodes of Dragon Ball, I I grew up watching it. I remember coming home for all right, no, I remember being woken up by my parents so that we could go over to my grandparents and my aunts and uncle's house and and they could drop me off there. I would watch, early morning cartoons, which would be Pink Panther followed by Dragon Ball. It wasn't just one episode, it was 4 in a row. And just a young kid seeing something so unique with not just the animation, the visualization, but also the storytelling. It is absolutely insane to think that somebody who influenced so many people didn't leave he's not leaving a void. He left a legacy. And this has, and we like myself and a couple other homies, we all came to an agreement on this one. This has the same impact that Stan Lee had whenever he passed. Both created comics. One was English, one was Japanese in manga form. Both did cartoon animation. Both did cinema. Both their franchises will forever be immortalized in gaming. So with that, it's just one of those things where you cherish the small things that you have because they can be gone so fucking quick. And I mean, so goddamn quick. Because we're not on this world forever. We're only on here for a fleeting amount of time. And my hope is that everybody is able to understand the impact that that man left, not just within gaming, but everything else. Y'all want to catch me live Monday through Saturday? Information will be in the channel below. All description or like everything else will be below as well, where you can find me and everything else. I'm not streaming to 6 platforms anymore. I am streaming to 3. Those links will be below. And when possibly after the summer, I may actually live stream to YouTube. But currently it remains to be foreseen. Do not know yet. So just keep an eye on Discord. Join the Discord if you haven't. You can catch me in there and catch up with some other cool things too. But I will see you on the next one. And y'all have a good one. Stay undefeated.